Hello and welcome to the Mysticast, where you join me, Jack Stafford, a student of metaphysics and member of the Aetherius Society, the cosmic religion for the Aquarian Age, as we break down the barriers between religion, science, metaphysics, philosophy, and mysticism, all of which are really only aspects of the selfsame quest for truth. Please note this is an independent program not produced or fact-checked by the Aetherius Society. Today, my guest is Bertold Keinar. Hello, Bertold.
Hello,
Where are you in the world today?
in Bulgaria, in the capital, in Sofia.
Ah, okay. So I heard about you through Inner Traditions, the publisher, your book, Empowering Practices for the Highly Sensitive. And it was a very intriguing title. I've ordered a copy. I apologize, it hasn't arrived yet. But maybe you can give me and also for the benefit of listeners, actually, it's better if I haven't read it because I'll ask more detailed questions. So maybe you could just start us off with, why you decided to write this book, an experimental guide to working with subtle energies.
It started from I just wanted to share my personal experience. Since I think I'm ordinary Western civilization citizen, which people don't give too much attention to um, your inner needs. They teach you outer subjects. I went to the university. I was developing, how to say, my left side of the brain. We never thought to be balanced. We never thought about our esoterical inner abilities, which sensitivity, it's one of them. And I believe many people experience a lot of problems when this, with the sensitivity is not balanced. So it's up to the level that you actually suffer from that. And I was one of the people who were suffering, and I couldn't find any logical way how to deal with that. Eventually, I met somebody whom I'm very grateful, and they gradually guided me through, through some process in which I learned about the inner nature of the sensitivity. And while balancing it, I understood that that's the way. If you don't balance it, if you don't control it, if you don't give it the right attention, if you don't educate yourself, you will suffer eventually. And the result of my balancing, I was so excited discovering it. So I said, okay, I want all the people there who are ready to have it, so they can read it. So and balance themselves. And the book structured in a way that it's while you it's basically mostly exercises. I know many people don't like to exercise, but I wrote the book for people who actually want to change their lives, not just to get educated, return the book on the shelf and keep on with their lives. So while you read the book, you actually go through inner transformation. You feel everything in the subtle worlds, in the esoterics, the inner. While feeling it, you master it, and you learn about your own boundaries and the boundaries of the other world, and you gain how to say, self-esteem and experience, and you know that now you can go to the world and protect it and more. Like you can use this tool for other things. It's like your sixth sense, and everything you can perceive via the first five senses. All the rest is with the sixth sense. So you're basically, there's no boundaries. Just learn how to use it.
Right, so they're basically the practices which worked for you, and they're kind of yoga practices. I mean, it's like staring at the candle, was the sample exercise. What are some of the exercises in the book?
Which one? Like, sorry, can you repeat?
What are some of the, because in the example exercise in the excerpt here, it says about the
Uh-huh.
candle, and this is actually mentioned in the society book,
Mhm,
Yin Yoga.
mhm,
Um, Realize your inner potential. It's one of the yoga, the techniques that Dr. King and people in the Aetherius Society use. You stare at the candle,
mhm,
and then you picture it in your mind. You instruct people to do it every morning for 5 minutes.
mhm.
Um, so these are where did you get these practices and what are they? Are
I think if I remember correct, all the main exercises I got from my teacher directly. Other exercises, I just we had a moment in which he just told me go and see how is it to advanced without a teacher, which is very, very difficult. You know, when you come to a teacher, it's like, okay, here's you are here now. You need to be there. That's what you're going to do in the next 1 to 3 weeks. It's very easy because you know exactly what you need now. When he had, okay, let's take a break, go, and I started buying a lot of books and reading and buying stuff, see what works for me, what doesn't work, like trying my own powers. And so those main exercises are mainly from him: the candle exercise, the balls exercise, the etheric balls exercise, the what was it, the bell exercise. Which one? I think the bell exercise and the candle were the most shifting.
So
Like
what's the bell exercise then?
the bell exercise, that you visualizing that you're inside the big bell, like on the church, like these kind
Yeah.
of bells. Like you're inside it, and from the top of it there is a conus going down. Okay, can you imagine that?
A conus, what is that? The thing that bangs the bell, the clanger or the metal?
The thing that bangs the bell, it's not there.
Oh, that's not
It's
there.
like
Okay,
it's like
that's
it's
good because
like
that would be painful.
it's like oh, it's like imagine that you are inside the pyramid. From a pyramid goes down another pyramid.
Okay.
Okay, so the peak of the inner pyramid, which in our case is the conus inside the bell. You need to imagine when you raise it, imagine that you put it exactly on your pineal gland. And then like when you leave it, it's like on your pineal gland, and this is your pineal gland, this is the conus going down. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. What's a conus then? What was that? A cone or a?
Maybe it's a cone. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
English is not my first, not my
No, you're
not,
doing very
not,
well.
thank you. Not even the second language. Maybe it's a cone. It's whatever they put on the road, the orange ones.
Yeah, cone. Yeah,
Yeah, cone. Thank you very much. So you have this cone going, and it goes on your epiphysis, and 5 minutes, like you are playing with the bell, while your attention is on the point when the peak of the cone is touching your epiphysis, your pineal gland.
Okay.
So if you can, it's basically it's awakening your pineal gland.
So the pineal gland is in the top of the head, is it?
Inside.
Inside. Oh.
It's somewhere in the middle. Like
Okay.
it's if you Google a pineal gland,
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah.
they will show you right away. It will be like they have pictures of of the brain, not like that. There's
Yeah.
illustration and shows you exactly where this. If you go with the spine,
Mhm.
somewhere where it ends, behind the mouth, somewhere above it, you will find it.
Okay.
Anyways, you put it there. It's like the interesting thing. You put it somewhere, then you start playing with that. Then you feel if something happens. I tried in the book not to tell you what exactly you need to feel, because you will be expecting that, you will be running up,
Right.
you will be imagining it. But I will share it with you. Don't tell other people.
Well, it's a video. So.
I know. Whatever you're supposed, if you don't put it on the right spot, you might have some pain in the head, some discomfort. When you put it on the right spot, you feel like this chakra is like opening up like a flower, like you feel it gradually. Yeah, that's how you know it's on the right place. If it's difficult to put it there, you just say, you ask the angels or the universe, whoever you're communicating with,
Mm.
you just ask them, please move it to the right spot, and they do, because wherever you put it, you feel something.
Wow. So
So
you do this for 5 minutes, like the candle practice?
yeah, you do it like 5 minutes that direction, 5 minutes that direction, and 5 minutes like left to right.
Wow.
And this entire 15 minutes, all your all your attention has to be on the point where it touches.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a bit difficult. Like if the attention there is difficult, then you still need to feel the entire mechanism, like the bell.
Wow.
Because when you lose focus, it disappears. That's why you start the first exercise. It's built in a way help people that for whom it will be difficult prepare for that. First, you start with the
Sure.
first you start with the candle. when you do the candle, it builds. It's again, you put it on the pineal gland. It wakes your pineal gland, and it builds concentration, like willpower, concentration power. When you have the concentration power, it helps you to keep structures, like keep your imagination. Like imagine when you imagine the bell, it stands there. When you stop imagining that, it disappears. And you work with the with the balls of energy. The next important exercise is when you compress the prana, ether, the etheric energy, you compress it and then you hold it in your hand and start moving it up the arm, behind the head, and then down. All this time, when you have when your attention and your concentration is strong, the ball is there. If your concentration is not strong, you will be. I was struggling a lot, yeah. But with time, you just build this kind of strength in you, and when you get to the bell, you're already, if you are doing all the exercises as you're supposed to, at least the main exercises, you are well prepared for the bell, and it's transforming. Then you have the subconscious cleaning, which is another, I think, very, very strong tool. For me, it was like from back from university, like all my mind was about logical stuff, about if we want to cure ourselves, let's read some books about self-help from psychiatrists, psychologists. They talk about logic. Doesn't work. It's so easy. It's like if you have a fear lives in your subconscious, right? It got to your subconscious somehow. By the way, a lot of sensitive people, their sensitivity, because they don't know how to control it, and in many cases it gets awakened because of some traumatic experience. By the way, mothers, after they give birth, the sensitivity can become very strong. It's like, if I'm a mother, I'm sitting here and my baby's in the kindergarten and something happened, I know it. Why? Because she's directing her attention to this field of sensitivity, and but they don't know how to close it or how to minimize it. So basically, in this state, they keep living. So this is an open state. It's also written in the book. This is an open state in which things come to your subconscious without your control. I believe if you were talking with highly sensitive people, or they call themselves sometimes empaths, they tell you that for example, it's an example from today. I'm going sometimes on Facebook groups and trying to give some tips to people who are not listening to them, but that's not the point. Somebody's writing me, I was going to the market and now I feel all the negative stuff and it's on me. What should I do? Like, people don't control it. It's all the negative energies goes to their aura, the energy around the body. When it go to sleep, it sneaks to the subconscious. This is one way. Other way, it goes directly there when you're too open and you are in a meditative state in alpha, when your brains are in alpha waves, when your brain is in alpha waves, it's an open channel. For example, when you read the book, when you watch a movie, when you're listening, I'm talking directly to your subconscious. The information is going there. You're not saying, okay, this is right, this is wrong, this I want to put in a buffer, this I want to give more consideration to it later. It doesn't happen. It goes directly there. So if it goes there, there must be a way to take it out. So this is the subconscious cleansing, which is really also transforming. The previous exercise builds something in you, some strength for you as a sensitive person to have, must have. This one is dealing with your past and teaching you to clean all the unnecessary energies from your subconscious. And it's like you take some fear that you caught somewhere. I also do sessions with people when they need. And it's like bring them, it's written in the book, you bring them to a certain state of trance or meditation. You tell them, okay, now go down, now go do this, burn it, now flush it in the door, and it disappears. Now think about it. Do you feel it in the belly? Do you feel it? Yes, I feel it. Let's repeat it. Now do you feel it? I feel that, that's it. If you know I don't feel it, like you stop being afraid. It's like that.
Well, it sounds like you've really gone on a journey. So, um, where are you at now? Then, I mean, are you still doing practices? Are you still developing? Are you?
I'm more on the path of the soul, or the way I call it. It's when I released enough things from the past and from traumatic point of view, from lessons point of view, what I was doing wrong, how I'm reconsidering stuff, reconsider like life view, and I'm more on the path of seeing who I'm from, not from the personality point of view, from the point of view of the soul. Like my soul, every soul has, as the way my teacher was explaining me, it's a bit we are going beyond the book. I tried to make it like from my point of view, basic, like whatever the tools needed for a person be sensitive and still live a happy life. Spoiler alert, I finished the second book, which if one day will come to life, like to be published, it's about how to develop clairvoyance and channeling. And it's also talks about how to find your path. Every soul has its own path. We were born here the same way. We were born in a certain some way. I don't know. We were separated from God's consciousness, and we became self-conscious. And in that specific moment, you had some wish, to do something, to work with something, to express something. This wish you carry with yourself every incarnation. So when you get to understand it, you like, okay, first of all, I need to prepare. I need every tool you you practice. Like if you practicing martial arts on a very high level, next life most probably it will be not most probably it will be you, because we take our subconscious and we carry it to every incarnation. Everything we do, everything we master, it's everything that is very strong in us. It's manifesting in next incarnation. So first of all, I'm trying to build my life in a way that the tools will be so strong that next life um, I don't need in any environment I will find myself, I will have them strong enough so they will direct me. And this is basically not creating any karma, first of all, because karma is like energy that stands between you and your inner self, higher consciousness, call it any way you like. And second, to do anything that is bringing you closer to your soul. The wish of the soul. The wish of the soul is to express itself via different, via certain tools. Like it wants to create something, wants to do something, it wants to deliver something to the world. Mostly, it's something new. Like we're going to the new. God is all the time wants to go to express itself, to experience itself in a new situations. We are helping it. And so I'm concentrated on this, on the path of the soul. And at the moment, I also, people I meet, I'm trying, because I'm at this stage of my life, people who are also at this stage of their life, I'm attracting them. And by helping them, I also help myself. Many times, whatever you tell the other person needs to do, it's the thing that you're telling to yourself.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's really resonates with the teaching. We're told that karma is action, so you you were all the time writing sanskaras. You can't get away from karma, but you want to do good karma. So, and it sounds definitely like you're focused in service to others, which really resonates with the teachings of the Aetherius Society as well. So you're trying to help, and I'm definitely drawn to your teachings. I've ordered your book, because there are so many there are so many practices. I don't need more practices. There's so many in the King Yoga, but it's nice the way you've put it. You just do this for 5 minutes and that for 5 minutes. And I've got a young family, and 5 minutes is not something I find it easy to find. So, but this to kickstart me again, and because I'm more of a I'm more of a talker. Do I have a podcast?
Mhm.
So I find that people like myself are less the people who are really doing practices, like probably like your teacher, they don't write books, they don't
Yeah,
they're busy. Those who do.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. One of the another reason why had or I wrote this book, it was um, when you study something, you cannot fill a full cup. In order to
yeah.
be an empty cup, you need to take everything you learned and just give it to somebody else.
Mm.
And also, while you write, you review a lot of things because you understand it in a certain way. Okay, now I want to communicate it. And now, wait, I just communicated it in a way that there are, how to say, um, like not everything sounds very smooth there. There are contradictions there, and you thinking, now I understand this in a different way. Like you also gain while you do it. You rearrange your thoughts and understanding. And after that, you gain a lot of emptiness, even bigger than whatever you had before, and you're ready to go to the next level. Like as my teacher says, you need to be a person needs to be a student and a teacher at the same time. Like you give, the universe gives you something, you learn it, give it to somebody else, and like that.
Yeah. So what was your teacher? What tradition he was? Where was he from? And what?
I don't know. It's it's hard for me to research him, but I know that he is for sure he is self-realized. It's from whatever in some tradition they call it self-realized. When you are connecting to your higher self,
Yeah.
your connection is not just discovering, hearing it, but you are becoming one with your higher self. And this for sure. And his purpose in life at this stage mainly is to um, be a channel like for other people. It's a bit tricky because you might lose yourself, but with some balances, you know how to get back to yourself, and you just come to him, and then it's like you are talking with the universe through him. He gives you
Mm.
exactly what is. Sometimes he gives you insights. He never like I don't tell him everything. He said, just pay attention to the next thing. I think it's my opinion that this and that thing you do in that way, but you need to do it another way. I say, you think it's exactly how I do it, and thank you for pointing it out.
Wow.
It's
You don't get that
amazing.
from a book, do you?
It's Huh?
You don't get that from a book.
Yeah, you don't get that from a book, but I'm very alike with him at this like in this thing that I write the book so you can find your way through your inner self. Like the first book is absolutely a first step because you open your pineal gland, you learn to concentrate, you learn to cleanse yourself, you learn to balance yourself, and while you do it, your pineal gland is telling you, "Hey, here is the higher me. Pay attention," and you feel things are changing in your life, and then you start cleanse um, your subconsciousness and those negative things that were taking your energy. Suddenly you have more energy. Suddenly different things attract because everything you have in your subconscious is whatever attracts, whatever recreates your reality. Those negative things you don't have, then you suddenly pay attention to new things and like, hey, am I a new person or what? And this is a very significant step towards yourself. And I believe that highly sensitive people are all channels on different levels. And whatever they do, like my teacher does only channeling. But if somebody is a doctor, somebody is an investor, somebody is doesn't matter what, somebody is working with people or creating some company, doesn't matter what. Your sensitivity, it's your intuition, and it's your clairvoyance at very high level. If you know how to attune to the higher level, which is not very difficult, you can be you just don't make you make less mistakes because the intuition tells you, hey, this person you can take to your podcast and this person not, because it's also how you formulate it. If you say I want to bring interesting people, your intuition tells you, okay, those are your people. Say, I want to bring people that are will give the fastest advance on the top of the soul. Okay, bring these people. If I want to bring the funniest people, say, okay, forget about those. You need to bring those people. So
Yeah, well, Dr. King, who founded the Aetherius Society, he was a great medium, a great channeler, probably the greatest, because he raised Kundalini all the way up Shushumna to the he beat in Samadhi, and he could so he went into, instead of a negative trance, he went into a positive trance, and so because you get people on your frequency, yeah, so he got into cosmic intelligences because he was beyond cosmic consciousness, but he could so he gave so many great teachings through the masters, and they talk so much about the higher self. You know, look, it's all every other paragraph is look up. You know, be your higher self. It's all about that's all they want us to do. So
yeah, yeah. When you're as long as your personality, you all your goals is to go there. Of course, you
mm,
need to pass the life, because you cannot just give up all the things that make you happy. You need to try everything.
mm,
But at some point, you need to say, okay, I was playing enough here. I want to play in the big league.
mm.
When you reach there, then it's some say that this is just the beginning, but before we reach there, for us, it's a finish line. After you cross the finish line, a new life in life, a new path in life begins.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the books that Dr. King channeled was the Nine Freedoms, which is kind of our, you know, the greatest teachings ever given to humanity. So the first freedoms are bravery, love, and service, to get things going, and then you have enlightenment, cosmic consciousness, ascension. So ascension is just to get you out of this soul system. So then you can go into interplanetary existence, and then you can play around on, you know, all the other planets. You live there. But if
And
sorry,
yeah, sorry, and you do it while living on this planet.
no, you escape. You leave the incarnation of this world. Yeah,
Hmm.
you incarnate on on another world through the logos of the planet. So
Hmm.
you are fully real. You live on all the realms at the same time. So
Hmm.
in our world, we have to die to go to another realm, to the astral realm or the etheric realm.
Hmm.
But on the other worlds, they inhabit them at the same time. Their higher self and their lower self, they're in touch.
Hmm.
So,
You
but
just move your consciousness up and down.
yeah,
That's all.
I think at the same, I don't way above my pay grade, but I think
Yeah.
you're in touch with everything all the time. So until you get to Saturnian existence, and then you're a 40-foot ovoid,
Uh-huh.
which which can split your consciousness into 1,980 different entities, and then you're immobile. You've given up freedom of movement. So
Hmm.
you free will. You have complete freedom, and then you're really one of the Saturnians says, "It is so. It is so." You've really moved beyond. So that's the level I'm aiming for. Uh,
Just do it gradually,
yeah,
step by
yeah,
step.
yeah.
Sounds very interesting. And you said that I'm sorry, what was the name of your community?
The Aetherius Society.
Yes, yes, thank you. The Ethereal, and it's based on the books of whatever you're mentioning of
Yeah, Dr. King. Yeah, he
Dr.
channeled.
King.
Yeah, he received about 600 transmissions, and he put them into books, and but he also did all these cosmic missions. So we pray into batteries with these crystals inside. So it's like Reiki, but you bring down the energy, you pray, and you store the energies in these batteries. And then when there's a world crisis, we release so many thousand prayer hours, and we also put energy into psychic centers of the Mother Earth. There's all these missions that the society
Hmm.
carries out as well as the
Hmm.
teachings. So it's a very active
Hmm.
organization.
So you're like a special unit of a kind.
Yeah, exactly like a
Yeah.
commando force. Yeah, yeah, spiritual.
I saw that in different souls have different, let's call it, designation or path, and for some there's no need to go that far as it was whatever you mentioned. For some, yes, like some people, there are some souls, all their thing is like to be, who are out of the game. We're not intervening. we will sustain some level of harmony. It's very cool, very interesting. And do you like you gather at some point and you do some like for example every 9 o'clock in the evening for
Yeah, there's
5 minutes?
well, there's we'd have the 12 blessings, which was transmitted through the Master Jesus, through Dr. King, so that we believe that a consciousness accumulates back to God. So you don't go back as an individual to God. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you're too small, I don't know, but so consciousness. So when you get to Saturnian level, it's two beings who vibrate at the same level, male, female, and none. They're sixfold. They form a sixfold being, and eventually, beings amalgamates. Planets are many souls together to create a logos of a planet.
Mm-hmm.
Planets form suns. Suns, the god in the Bible is the sun, the Brahma of the Hindu scripts, and the galaxy is a living being. And the galaxy cannot go back to God because it hasn't transmuted matter. So there's this amalgamation back to the one. So we all have
Mm-hmm.
to go back together. So yeah, there's this coming together, and yeah, it's this long process. You don't just go like into nirvana, like in
Mm-hmm.
some traditions. Yeah, it's millions and billions and trillions of lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
experience.
you said that many souls constitute a logos of a planet.
In my understanding, yeah, yeah.
That's very interesting. I never thought, I never heard about it. Let alone thought. But do you have in that tradition like what's the purpose, the logic, the will, the wish, the desire of God expressing Himself via life? What's the purpose?
What's
Like,
also above my pay grade, but everything's in service to the people below it. Like the sun is giving of itself in sacrifice.
so you're like Christ consciousness. You're behind the scenes sustaining the flow of good, let's say. I heard something not on that level of elaboration, but the researchers of the truth, they had very advanced teacher who passed away. They call him Daskalos. I don't remember his. He was from Cyprus, from the Greek side. If you want later, I can send you.
Yes, please.
So,
Yeah.
so they concentrate on that, on the logoic side of the Christ side, which is how they call it. I don't remember. Sorry, but yeah, they talk about that. Like they don't tell you, okay, your soul is you came here to be, I don't know, director of movies because that was the passion of your soul. God wants through you to do this, like to get better in this. All they do, they heal people. They teach them how to raise their consciousness. They at the end they talk about the selfless service.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which I didn't find many people who are like it's not for the masses. It's like it's for whoever feels it in himself to do so. But in any case, even if you feel it or not, when you follow the teachings, they're also very um, relatively easy. A lot you work a lot with your imagination, visualization, and yeah, people advance very fast. The more it's close to your nature, to that, it's like constructed in a way, everything constructs in that way. That's how the universe tells you if it's something that it's the path of your soul or not. If whatever you do, you suddenly feel, I have so much energy, I have so much energy, it's so cool, so I so want to do it, I want to keep doing it. The more you have of that, the closer you are your own path. This
Right.
is also about how do you call it, the motivation. Like you have some outer motivation and how I want to have more comfort, I want to help I don't know, I want to so my kids will have stuff. I consider it also as outer motivation. And you have the inner motivation. It's when your soul is screaming, yeah, let's do it. Don't be afraid. The universe is with you. So there is the on the spiritual path. If you get the closer you get there, and you are a spiritual person, the stronger all your tools are, and also your channeling, clairvoyance, sensitivity is much stronger. You get higher insights, like from higher levels. Basically, from the logoic level, you just it resonates with the golden light. You're just doing some practices to align with it, to tune yourself to that level, and it's very nice. So I just wanted to say that it's good to start there, but many people finally don't find a lot of meaning there. It's very elite school for whatever you say.
Well, we're all selfish. I mean, we're all, I think, because, but we do practices. I mean, we do believe in, all these practices you're saying, the one, because you can be of more service, But this is a new concept because even even in the past with the great masters, there weren't many who did it purely for unselfish reasons. Are going to go in a cave for 50 years so that I can be of greater service. They were usually trying to attain peace, and enlightenment for themselves, and there's a selfish element to it, even though if you do all these practices in your book, in Realize Your Inner Potential and all these great yogic practices, you you will flower, as you say, and then eventually your ego will fall away and you'll be there. So you get there from there, or you get there from there. You're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
I think when you on my based on my experience, when the ego of the negative side of I want for myself is more or less balanced, and you're aligned with the wishes of your soul, and the service that the soul wants to provide, and that was my whole point. It's different from whatever was, for example, some teachings of Christ. But she was purely like master of the masters. Like, I come here to give you that, so you will heal people, will enlighten people, will awaken people, and but people are not supposed. Most of the people, it's like society cannot be only based like build with how to say it. The only everybody will be doctors. Oh, you need the
Okay.
doctors
Okay.
and you need teachers and you need so your elite work. It's based on my experience. I didn't find many people who can pass all the way, and they say, okay, this is the reason of this is the passion of my soul, and that's what I want to do. You can be selfless and passionate and give a lot of light to the world by doing podcast. It's totally fine. If that's what
Oh,
gives
thank you.
it's that's what gives you the drive,
Hmm.
nobody can judge you. This is the thing. There you will be. The teacher says that in this point you can be he calls it it's the point from which you can be the most useful
Hmm.
for the world, for the universe, and for yourself, which is basically the same. Whatever you give, that's what you get.
Yeah, just in my personal experience, it's what's lacking. I feel drawn to, if if everyone was doctors, yeah, I wouldn't really feel the need to be a doctor because you've got to play in the field where there aren't the right players. So,
Mhm.
and the Aetherius Society, you're right, is a very, very small organization because not many people feel
Yeah,
drawn to it.
you are elite. I think you are elite unit.
Yeah.
And, God has so many like it's endless amount of expressions. Everybody cannot be something one. Will be all the time endless amount of different professions or trades or crafts or even the painters. Every painter when he is connected to himself with the inner self and in his channeling whatever he is drawing, he will draw something unique and nobody can recover. And it's God expression. It's also fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, on the other planets, we're told like Jupiter, they make smells, they perfume manufacturers or great music. I mean, so it's a valid job, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, everything is valid.
Yeah.
I think where I believe you know more than I, but here we are on our planet. How and even on our planet there is so many levels and so many creatures, like it's infinite number. and the more you go down to one cell, it's like an entire universe. And think now about the entire universe. On every planet they're doing something, and it's wow, it's no boundaries. And everything is needed. Like God wants to go there and experience himself itself, everything. I can understand it.
Well, you're a little closer to him than I am, so yeah. But no, that's great. It's really inspiring. So I'm trying to think what other questions people would like to. I'm honored this is your first interview because I'm very surprised also because you had a lot of publicity for the book and you know it's such a it really resonates. You know, so
I when I was writing the book, I had in my mind that I'm writing it for people. For some reason, they're both are female. One of them is a teenager who needs who is at the beginning of her life just discovered her sensitivity, and on the other level, it's an old lady who seen life but still didn't didn't have the time to give an attention to this. So now she can sit in the evening with a cup of cocoa and
yeah.
then yeah. So I really hope it gets to the right hand. Before that, I couldn't give any interviews. I was working in a government mission and in an embassy, and they preferred less of us to go because I'm not a diplomat. I was in the administration, and I could not go and be outside. We would like to talk even about that, things like
Mm,
that.
mm.
I prefer to keep it now, as I wrote you back then on the email. So now I'm out of it, and I can. Here I'm already 43 minutes into my first
Yeah,
podcast.
no, you're doing
Thanks,
great.
thanks, thanks to you.
Yeah, but I think also what coming to my mind is that you want people to enjoy the practices because you know it's easy to go to Netflix, isn't it? I mean, it's easy to turn on the TV and you think you're getting pleasure from that, but you know the pleasure you get from a good practice like this is much higher.
Yeah,
So, how would you say to bit about enjoyment and about this pleasure? What would you say about that?
it's you know when we grow up we forget the feeling that kids have when they succeed in the small things, like something with the Lego, something with the puzzle, or to do something they try, or they just play in the garden and they succeed in the small things. They run to you that full, you know it better than me. I still don't have kids, so full of with accomplishments, like they feel that this fun that they did something. And
Well, my son had he's having just starting the potty training, so he's having a poo every morning, and it's amazing for him. I mean, it's
so
yeah.
when you start, if you were doing spiritual esoteric practices, you know that sometimes you go those feedbacks and you open up something new that you it's not like on Netflix. More or less, you know what's going to happen. Yeah, it's an external. You were smart enough to predict how. It's like it's more about the show, not about the plot. Like it's about what they want to show us, not about where they want to lead us. And when you're doing the practices and when you just begin, you have the beginners like the first 5 days. It's like everything goes well. You feel. Then, for example, you take a break for the weekend, and then on Monday you start. Nothing works. Well, what? I'm doing the same thing, so it doesn't work. And then it starts working, and you feel it, and then you develop intuition. You already feel how the process works within. You know what works for you, what works less. It's like we were discovering the outer world as kids. Now we start to discovering the inner world via those practices, because do something, it gives you feedback. You have something. Okay, now I have some experience, and if you take it as a challenge, like okay, now I owe it to myself. I want to be. I want to see what the life was teaching me everything about outside. I know enough. I'm good at my profession, and I want to know what is inside. It's thought. I was never skipping, like even on the sometimes on the weekends, or I don't know, when you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to rest. Things need to see. I was never resting. I was everything, but it's such a fun. I was not all the time following everything. Share between you and me. After a while, my teacher told me, you know, everything I was telling you how to do, you was doing everything wrong. And I was sure that I was doing some, but I was always doing things. Yeah, and um, every time you discover different, I think I took it too far. The discovering different feedbacks and just going with them. But it's part of beginners. How to call it, enthusiasm and curiosity. Yeah, you just, okay, this is my path, but look at these things around. Let's observe them. But at some point they lose their light, and you start being concentrated on your path. Yeah. And by the way, I I noticed that many people lately they get burnout on the workplace, because from whatever I understood, there is less and less from the old energy, and more and more from the new energy, and the new energy is more connected to the of the soul, like to your mission, to your why you incarnated here, like what is the unique thing that your soul needs to bring here. And it's I don't know, maybe you were observing the same thing, and so I hope reach out to those people who I can touch in time, because they're very left side of the brain people, a lot into the system, and it's an entire process to convince them that the reality is not even half reality. It's one line, 2D line of reality.
Yeah, because you picked the title for your book carefully, I mean, empowering practices for the highly sensitive. You could have, the highly sensitive, what does that mean? I mean, and why empowering? You could think a lot about the title, though.
It's actually it's the work of inner tradition people. The
Oh, okay.
publisher, they
Yeah.
did they did a great job. I offered I'm not as good as they are in marketing, because those things are a lot about marketing. I thought the call it the sensitives are needed. Like there is
Oh, so
more.
you had sensitives. That was what you
Yeah,
were.
yeah,
Yeah.
sensitives are needed, and it was when I was passing through all the training. It's not like I went to the temple and was living there. Like it
Yeah, yeah,
was,
yeah.
I was living my life, and the 5 minutes a day I was doing things. Um, I like I was living inside my own world, and I had my own picture. And when I wanted to communicate it outside, and mainly to the Western world, I didn't know exactly how what do they mean, the sensitive, highly sensitive empaths, channelers, and so on.
Mm.
I still see that people are very on the face, judged by the Facebook groups. They are very. Most of the people are very confused. They didn't like, somebody writes, "I'm an empath. What does it mean?" Or "Am I an empath?" Or "How do you something the empathy to somebody else?" Like there's more confusion there than order. Let's say.
So even if somebody doesn't think of themselves as an empath or a sensitive, these practices still work. No, it's still a
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In any case, when you want, even if somebody is not an empath, there are exercises, and part of them, those exercises, it's how to develop sensitivity. Everybody, we all have it. Like you feel you multi-dimensional. You live, you know, I think better than you will live in the physical world and the ethereal world and the astral world, and so we live on all the levels. Mostly we are connected to this one. Um, so if we live on all these levels, we can feel all of them, right? So what is this sense that we need to develop to feel it? The sensitivity. So where I'm going with it, it's that every person who wants to develop any kind of esoteric abilities must start with sensitivity. What's the point of you, I don't know, develop what if you don't, if you cannot enlarge your sense, like enlarge the field, like make your field of sensitivity sensitive and know how to direct it to different places and see and feel it. Like, for example, every magician wants to have sensitivity. Every healer to have sensitivity. Every clairvoyant, for sure, like without sensitivity, there's no clairvoyance, and so on. I believe any profession can benefit from that.
Mm, mm. Okay, so and if people go away now and they have because my book's in the post, what can I do tonight? What would be the first practice you'd recommend just to
For
finish
you,
us off with? Yeah,
yeah, to start with the candle.
candle. Okay.
Yeah, it's the minimum. It's the basic. It's at the beginning. It gives you the how to say the mistake margin. How do you call it? Like
The margin of error.
yeah, it's all smaller, and even if you do it wrong, it doesn't have nothing crucial happens, and
Okay.
it's the funnest one when you do it. What is going on there? Like something is moving, but it's not your brain.
Mm.
Like some things are moving there, and I think it is. But don't forget, just when you finish it, just to take out the candle to erase it.
Blow the candle
Yes,
out.
yeah, my mother after 3 months tells me, you know, I look at there this morning, and there are many candles there. But of course, every time you're finishing, erase it.
Yeah, yeah.
You visualize it. It's on some level. It's there.
Ah, so your mother did it all as mother has followed your program too.
Yeah, she tried. I cannot say she was very successful, but she tried. You need
Yeah.
you need to be in the right. It need to put you in the right time because we are struggling with our daily life, which is mostly our karmic or
Mm,
karmatic
yep, yep, yep.
will,
Mm.
and we don't have before we have some stops and crossroads. At this point, nothing is pulling us or pushing us anywhere, and we have some energy, we have some rest, and we can say, okay, now we can recharge and do things. While you are there, you know how much energy. I'm sure you do. How much energy you need to
Mm.
stop and say, okay, I'm stopping everything. I'm starting something new, and I'm devoting myself to it. It's very difficult. So
Yeah.
mostly, and when you go to buy a new book, you buy it when you feel like, okay, I need something. Yeah, I want to go and something new for myself.
Yeah. Well, it's only 5 minutes as you know. It's
Yeah,
small.
yeah.
You've
Yeah,
done
but
written it very
but
well.
but it builds up like
Yeah.
20 minutes, but not more than that.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Well, I can't wait to get my copy of the book. So, could you tell people where they can get the book themselves? And do you have a website or a Facebook group? How could people keep in touch with you?
If they type my name, Bertold Keinar, they will find my Facebook page. I just started developing it. They're very welcome to go and click some like. If they have any questions, of course, I'm here. I will give all the attention. The purpose of the book was to help people. So if you
Mm.
really need the help, I'm here for you for sure. And Amazon Inner Traditions. And again, if you just write my name or the empowering practices for the highly sensitive, you will find many. Again, as you said, Inner Traditions that did a good job, and you can find many websites from which you can purchase it. Yeah,
All right. Well, this has been a wonderful chat. Really, time has flown by.
yeah, it is.
All right. And if people want to learn more about the Aetherius Society, they can go to aetherius.org.
I surely will.
All right.
Thank you for having me. I hope
My
it's not the last time.
No, my pleasure. Check out the Nine Freedoms if you get on Amazon and
I
want to
will. I
if you're
will.
ready for the next another chapter in something else.
I will try and I will see.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Thank you very
Take
much.
take care. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.